Welcome to the lesson 2. Last lesson we talked about how to hold the bow, how to hold the violin. I would like us to continue talking about those two things in greater details. Let's look at the position of the right hand, it's a bow hand, on the bow. This time we'll have the bow that doesn't have any hair, and hopefully you will have a better view of the position of my hand on that bow. But before I do that, please look at that black part that's called a frog. Nobody knows why it's called a frog. It's important for us to realize that this part is called a frog. And we place the pinky in the middle of the frog. There is an ornament just to let us know where that middle of that frog is. That's where we place the pinky. It will be in the middle. That's an important point for us. The next important point for us to locate the gap between the frog and the leather wrap. In that gap, we're placing bent finger. My thumb is bent thumb goes in the spot between, on the right side, in between the frog and the wrap, and it's located like this. Pinky goes on top of the ornament, thumb goes in the split between the frog and the wrap, all other fingers resting comfortable on the stick. The same we do with the bow with the hair. Thumb is resting bent between the leather wrap and the end of the frog. Pinky is above the middle of the frog. All other fingers resting on the stick. Excellent. Next, let's talk a little bit more about the position of the violin. So this is one of the contacts. That's where the violin will be resting. The second contact is base of the first or point finger, base of the finger, and the first knuckle of the thumb. First knuckle, so that will be right here, and the base of the first or point finger. And that's where we rest, that's where we rest the violin. So point finger and the thumb. Both of those are relaxed, and there's kind of circle. So when we hold the violin correctly, there's also kind of gap in between, so we can place the finger. See how my finger easily goes inside when I'm holding the violin. No, there's no gap. This is much better position. Excellent. Position of the hand is 90 degrees. Let's avoid the beginner's mistake of holding the violin like this. Let's correct it from get-go. There is a gap here. Hand is straight, 90 degrees. Awesome. It's important to keep the violin parallel to the floor. Why it is important? Well, few reasons. One of the reasons would be by placing the bow on the string, and if the violin is not parallel, that's what would happen to the bow. The bow will slide. We need to keep the bow on the string, and by placing the bow on the string in the parallel to floor position, it would make us to produce the sound in an easier manner. Let's talk about that sound producing. So hopefully the sound will be beautiful, sweet, and we will enjoy it. So how to make those enjoyable, beautiful, gorgeous sounds? Well, we need a couple of things. And those principles are, we need to move the bow with the same speed, the same place, and with the same pressure. Pretty easy. Sound pretty easy. Let's locate the bridge, that thing called bridge. You can see there's a bridge, that thing called bridge. We need to pull the bow between the bridge and black thing here where we place fingers. That thing here, black thing where we place fingers, is called fingerboard. Bridge, fingerboard. And we place the bow on any string in between the fingerboard and the bridge. And in that manner, we move the bow parallel to the bridge with the same speed, same pressure, and same place. Those three principles are important for a good movement of the right hand that will produce the best sound. Let's talk a little bit about the way how small muscles work. We talk about the general principles of the movement of the arm. Those are general principles. Now let's talk about the small movements, and now I'm talking about the wrist and the fingers. As you can see, the wrist is in the highest position. When I start moving, the wrist continue to be in a high position, and that's the first thing that goes down. The wrist goes down, the wrist goes up. If we place a coin on the wrist and move the wrist down, move the wrist up, the coin is still on the wrist. So by moving the hand with the coin, you don't have to do that, just for you to understand the movement of that, the coin is still there, and as you can see, the wrist is up, all of my fingers are resting on the bow, and I'm moving the hand with the coin up and down. As you can see, it goes up, so this is the first movement, this is the second movement, this is the first movement, we go back to the shoulder, and this is the second movement, and the coin is still on top of my wrist. Let's put it all together. We're doing great. We're doing great. Very soon, don't worry, very soon. I know that you want to play Twinkle Twinkle, yes, as soon as possible. But trust me, once you know ABC, then you don't have to play only Twinkle Twinkle. You can play something else, maybe Happy Birthday. Collarbone. Correct position of the left hand, bottom of the first finger, smiley face here. Violin is straight, parallel to the floor, nose looking at the head. All the fingers are resting on the bow, and we're gonna move the bow in a very relaxed way down. This way, going to the floor is moving the bow down. I did that on A string, and you can do that on any string. Let's try to do that again. Placing the bow on any string, I did it on A string. You can do it on any string. Try not to touch other strings and playing on one string only. Let's try to do it one more time. Wonderful. I think you did a great job. Try to do it a couple of times without me, and I will see you at next lesson.